Your food was wrong, or it never showed up, or it arrived cold and inedible. You contacted support, you explained the problem, and they gave you a $2 credit toward your next order that expires in 7 days. That happened because of the words you used. I'm going to give you 13 specific words and phrases based on real FTC consumer protection language, FDA food safety standards, and the 2026 California AB 578 refund law that trigger a completely different response from any delivery app support system. These phrases don't beg, they don't argue, they signal that you know your legal rights, and that signal changes everything. Every support system, bot or human, runs on a decision tree. It matches your complaint language to a category. If your words land in general complaint, you get a credit. If your words land in legal/regulatory exposure, the resolution escalates and the outcome changes entirely. These 13 phrases are the ones that trigger the second category. They come directly from FTC enforcement vocabulary, FDA food safety codes, and platform terms of service, which means they're not just persuasive, they're accurate. You're asserting real rights with real language. Number 1. Unconsumable. Most people say, "I can't eat this," or "the food is terrible." Those are opinions. The support system is trained to minimize opinions with a small credit. Unconsumable is not an opinion, it's a declaration that the item, in its received state, cannot be consumed. It removes subjectivity from the complaint entirely. The item is either consumable or it isn't. Say this: "My items I received are unconsumable. I am requesting a full refund to my original payment method." Why it works? Declaring something unconsumable establishes a factual basis for refund that no reasonable policy can dispute. You cannot be required to pay for food that cannot be eaten. Number 2. Unsafe temperature. The FDA defines a clear danger zone for food safety. Between 40 degrees Fahrenheit and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, bacteria multiply rapidly. Hot food must arrive above 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Cold food must stay below 40 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a federal safety standard, not a preference. Cold food is a complaint. Unsafe temperature is a food safety violation. Say this: "My food arrived at what appears to be an unsafe temperature under FDA food safety guidelines, making it a potential health risk." Why it works? Invoking FDA temperature standards shifts your complaint from "I didn't like the food" to "this food presented a documented safety concern." Those two categories receive completely different support responses. Number 3. Cross-contamination. If you have a food allergy and received an item that may have been contaminated with your allergen, or if an order clearly mixed incompatible food items, this phrase activates allergy and medical risk protocols that standard complaints do not reach. Cross-contamination is a specific, documented food safety concern. It triggers different internal escalation because the platform's liability exposure is significantly higher when health risk is involved. Say this: "This order shows signs of cross-contamination with allergen/ingredient. This presents a potential medical risk, and I am requesting immediate full refund and escalation." Why it works? Any complaint involving potential medical harm, allergen cross-contamination specifically, activates a different resolution pathway in every major platform. Health risk equals liability risk equals different decision tree. Number 4. Tampered seal. Most delivery platforms require restaurants to seal orders before pickup. A visibly opened, damaged, or missing seal is not just annoying, it's evidence of a food integrity failure that the platform is responsible for under its own driver and restaurant policies. Say this: "My order arrived with a tampered seal, indicating the packaging was opened after leaving the restaurant. This is a food integrity violation under your platform's stated policies." Why it works? Tampered seal references the platform's own internal policies, not just your preference. It signals that you've read their terms and are holding them to their own stated standards.
Citing a platform's own policies against them is significantly more effective than citing general dissatisfaction. Number 5. Biohazard. This word is reserved for severe situations, a foreign object like hair, insects, or unidentified debris found in food. These are not quality complaints, they are public health concerns that can involve local health department reporting. Only use this word when it is literally accurate. Finding hair or debris in food is a genuine food safety violation. Using this word for a disappointing meal is misuse and will harm your credibility. Say this: I found what appears to be a foreign contaminant in my food. This constitutes a potential biohazard, and I am documenting this for both your platform and the relevant health authority. Why it works? Mentioning health authority documentation alongside the word biohazard tells the platform that this complaint exists outside their system, which they cannot resolve with a credit. Third-party documentation potential is one of the strongest escalation signals that exists. 5 down, 8 to go, and the next one is where the real legal weight comes in. If this is already giving you words you wish you'd had last time, hit subscribe. I put out consumer rights content every week, the stuff these companies are counting on you not knowing. Now let's keep going.
Number 6. Item mismatch. When you place an order, you and the platform enter a service agreement. You pay for specific items to be delivered. If a different item arrives or items are missing, that is a breach of the agreed transaction, not an inconvenience, a breach. Item mismatch is the precise term that describes this breach in transactional language. Say this: my order contains an item mismatch. What I received does not correspond to what I ordered and paid for. This constitutes a failure to fulfill the agreed transaction. Item mismatch combined with agreed transaction moves your complaint from the quality category into the fulfillment failure category. Fulfillment failures carry clearer refund obligations than quality complaints under the platform's own policies. Number 7. Bait and switch. If you ordered based on a photo or description in the app and what arrived was substantially different, a different size, completely different item, or a product that bears no resemblance to what was shown, that is a textbook bait and switch. The FTC defines this as a deceptive practice. Say this: the item I received is materially different from what was advertised in the app listing. This constitutes a bait and switch under FTC deceptive advertising standards. I am requesting a full refund. Why it works? Bait and switch and FTC deceptive advertising standards in the same sentence signals regulatory awareness. The FTC is the agency that oversees these platforms. Every major delivery app has a legal team monitoring FTC language in consumer complaints. Number 8. Consumer Protection Act. The Federal Trade Commission Act, the foundational consumer protection law in the United States, prohibits unfair or deceptive acts or practices in commerce. Delivery apps operate in commerce. When they charge you for goods not delivered or misrepresent what they're selling, they're operating in territory the FTC explicitly governs. Say this: this transaction involves a practice that may violate the Consumer Protection Act, as enforced by the FTC. I am prepared to file a formal complaint at ftc.gov/complaint if this is not resolved appropriately. Why it works? Naming a specific law and the specific complaint portal, ftc.gov/complaint, signals that you're not threatening vaguely. You know the exact mechanism. Platforms have compliance teams whose job is preventing FTC complaint patterns. This phrase reaches those teams. Number 9. Order abandonment. Every major delivery platform has specific policies about where drivers are permitted to leave orders. Leaving food at the wrong address, outside in extreme weather, in an unsecured location, or without following delivery instructions is classified as order abandonment, and it transfers liability to the platform. Say this: my order was left in an unauthorized location without following delivery instructions. This constitutes order abandonment under your platform's delivery policies, and I am requesting a full refund for non-delivery. Why it works? Order abandonment and delivery policies together cite the platform's own rules back to them.
You're not making a subjective complaint. You're citing a specific policy violation that their own terms define. This is highly effective because it removes the agent's discretion on whether the claim is legitimate. Number 10. Photographic evidence. This phrase does two things simultaneously. It signals that you have proof, which immediately changes the credibility assessment of your complaint, and it triggers documentation protocols in the platform's support system. Always take a photo before contacting support. A picture of wrong food, missing items, damaged packaging, or a tampered seal. The photo doesn't need to be high quality. It needs to exist. Say this: I have photographic evidence of this order failure and am prepared to submit it as part of a formal complaint if needed. Why it works. Photographic evidence signals that your complaint is documentable, which means it can be verified, cited in a formal filing, and used in an escalation. Unverifiable complaints get credits, documented complaints get reviewed. This phrase announces that yours falls in the second category. Number 11. Terms violation. Every delivery platform publishes terms of service for drivers, restaurants, and delivery operations. When a driver behaves inappropriately, leaves food in a prohibited location, or handles an order in a way that violates the platform's stated standards, that's a terms violation, not just a bad experience. Say this: the handling of this delivery constitutes a terms violation under your platform's stated driver conduct and delivery policies. I am requesting escalation and a full refund. Why it works. Naming a terms violation signals that you've read the platform's own policies and that you're holding them accountable to their own stated standards. This is harder for a support agent to dismiss than a preference complaint because the platform cannot reasonably argue against its own published rules. Number 12. Chargeback threat. A chargeback is a dispute filed with your credit card company or bank to reverse a charge for goods or services not delivered as agreed. It is the most financially impactful tool available to a consumer in a billing dispute. Platforms fear chargebacks specifically because each one costs them a processing fee, often $15 to $100, damages their chargeback ratio with payment processors, and can eventually result in increased transaction costs or lost payment processing access. This is a last resort phrase. Use it only after at least one failed support attempt on a legitimate issue. And if you say it, be prepared to follow through. An empty threat weakens every future interaction. Say this: I have been unable to resolve this through your support channel. If I do not receive a full refund to my original payment method, I will be initiating a chargeback with my card issuer for non-delivery of agreed goods. Why it works. Chargeback combined with original payment method and non-delivery of agreed goods uses the exact language your bank will use when processing the dispute. This precision signals genuine knowledge of the process, not an empty threat. Number 13. Escalation protocol. This is the cleanest, most direct phrase on the entire list. Escalation protocol is the phrase that exits the bot loop and the first-line agent and places your complaint with a supervisor or senior resolution specialist who has actual authority to approve full refunds. Under FTC service standards effective in 2026, if automated or first-line support has failed to resolve your issue, you have the right to request escalation. The phrase that invokes this right is this one. Say this: I am invoking your escalation protocol. My issue has not been resolved at the first support level, and I am requesting immediate transfer to a supervisor or senior resolution specialist. Why it works. Escalation protocol is internal corporate language. Using it signals that you know how the support system is structured and that you're navigating it deliberately, not randomly. This phrase, combined with any of the earlier words that document the specific issue, is the most reliable path to a human agent with actual resolution authority. None of these 13 words are tricks. Every single one is grounded in a real consumer right, a real law, or a real platform policy. They work because they're accurate. The delivery apps built their support systems for the version of you that doesn't know these words. Now you know all 13. Drop in the comments which phrase are you using first, and if you've already tried one,
Tell me what happened. Your experience helps everyone watching this know what's actually working out there right now. Subscribe and see you then.